your brain isn't just like this mini mega computer inside your head. It's not something just for your logical and critical thinking. It's something so far different and so far removed that it's almost impossible to understand with the brain itself. It's just working on such different levels from your body and your spirit or soul or ego or cognitive, whatever you call it, not cognitive, conscious, whatever you call it. It works so separate, and everyone says your soul, your spirit, or whatever is the peak of your being. That is the reason, but they end up devaluing the brain when there's good things to say about that. There are sides to that far, far beyond the norm of accepted, what a brain is. Realistically, it is your biggest challenge. You don't face anything more severely than your own brain. You don't fight a fight as hard and as strong and as willing as you do the fights within your head, the internal conflicts, the interior demons and challenges, and the just conflictions and complications that life takes from situations and puts straight into here. The ones that are, more serious, that they don't just take up bodily, physical, innate functions. They have to go to the brain. Those are the strongest, severest, and most impactful things. Those are what really make or break your decisions. Those are what allow and disallow and ban and free you from whatever state you might be in. You can't just treat the brain as a calculator, as a memorizer, as whatever you want to treat it. It's not that. It's something so complex it can't understand itself. That's a huge paradox, but it's also a huge benefit to us. Because yes, it gives us turmoil, it gives us struggle, it gives us this emotional, inside your head pain sometimes. But it gives you strength, and it gives you ways of thinking that are so beyond anything else possible. You just have to tap into the potential it holds and not limit it just to being a thinking and thought machine. Because by limiting it, you are killing your chances at 99.9% of the world's potential. Your brain is the key to everything, the mind you live in. At my school, these last 2 or 3 weeks, the concept of neuroplasticity has come up several times, which is basically, really simply summed up, the idea that with repeated use and engagement, specific parts of the brain can actually physically change form and shape. And I do definitely accept that that happens. But I think it's not just using the brain and just having parts firing off, it's also this reckoned acceptance where you get to a point where you just understand that you can't understand, but you know that it is useful and it has the potential and the choices can be made even if you don't really get them. Just allowing yourself to go on autopilot recognizably, but completely knowledgeable subconsciously and within your head, then you can just progress so far in life and so far in the things you do. Because you might not be understanding them on a base level, but if you're doing it right and it's working, do you really need to understand it? Because you're getting it done and you're getting the gainage from it. So why submit to just not doing it because you don't understand? That's only going to harm you. That's not going to harm anyone else. That's not going to limit anyone else. That is all on your back. And it's not like it's difficult, because if you don't understand it and you're just doing it on this autopilot, your brain is firing off and doing it itself, there's no difficulty at all. It's like that state of flow Taoism always discusses. You just go with it and you do it, and before you know, it's finished, and something you didn't even know you could do is done completely wrong.